Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic, and we are playing Satyrs today in Theros Beyond Death. And so I'm actually have access to the VIP event here today. I don't actually have 500,000 gems. That is due to Wizards of the Coast sponsoring me and letting me into the event. And so I am doing a few videos while I have access to it and all of the cards. And so thank you so much to them for that. And so let's go ahead and jump into some gameplay here and see what this deck is all about. So first off, are Satyrs actually really good in Standard? Not necessarily, because there's not a ton of support, but there are a few pieces that make it like, oh man, this could be really cool. So we'll see if we can make it work. We're going to go ahead and go through the deck list here and then play a few games with it and see how we do. So Gallia of the Endless Dance is the main reason why we want to play Satyrs here. And by the way, I'm playing almost all cards from Theros Beyond Death except for lands. And so I actually, like, there's a few cards that I'm not bringing in, like Icon of Ancestry, which would definitely help in this deck. But I wanted to test out a few other things and just see if they would do even better and just kind of have a little bit more synergy within Theros Beyond Death. Because they're all new cards, it's more fun to try things out and test things out. So just so you guys know, that's why I have it all set up this way. Here we go. So it has haste. It's a 2/2 legendary creature, so we can only play one on the battlefield at a time. And then other Satyrs you control get +1/+1/+1. That sounds weird to me right now. Anyway, and have haste. So I just did a live stream for like 5 hours straight. It was 4 hours. So you guys want to check that out as well. It's also before. So I did a whole live stream of this event before as well. Anyway, so that's really good. And then also, whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may discard a card at random. If you do, draw 2 cards. And so this can really be nice because we can empty our hand fairly quickly. This deck isn't really about trying to empty our hand too aggressively, and getting to attack with 3 creatures doesn't happen that often. But the occasional time it does, we're okay to discard a card to get 2 cards. Often it is a May ability, so if we are holding onto a Perforos we want to have or something else, then we don't have to, of course. But what we're trying to do with this deck is first off get out some Satyrs. So Satyrs Cunning, 1 mana, I just created a 1/1 Satyr. It cannot block, so it's not very great, but you can escape it. So you can kind of cast this again later on, only exiling 2 cards, so it's fairly easy to do. It is sorcery speed. Like, I wish that this card was instant speed, and I feel like it'd be much better, just because you can, surprise, hey, we do have a 1/1 to be swinging in at you. It can be pretty good. Shadow Spear, this deck could probably use 1 or 2 more of these, but I just kind of added that in later on to try to see how it does. Perforos' Intervention, therefore some removal for creatures first off, and then we are kind of an aggressive deck, so if we late game need to have a big trampling and hasty elemental creature, hopefully we can get in for damage before it gets removed. That's cool art for it as well, by the way. Then we just have some of our kind of random Satyrs, and this is the issue with why this deck isn't going to be amazing, is that there's just not very powerful Satyrs out there. But as far as for an aggro match, like that's the issue, is that the Satyrs that are out there aren't necessarily aggressive, but having this be a 2-mana 2/3 with haste, if you have Gallia, is amazing. And then it also, whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top 3 cards of your library, reveal a land card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest into the bottom of the library in random order. So we actually have an aggressive deck here that still consistently hits lands to get up to higher stuff, which actually is not a terrible way to go. It's where you can actually still play. So if we have this kind of stuff, there are chances that we can still hit those lands, still get up to our bigger stuff, and still stay aggressive, just hitting land and get in. So actually pretty exciting there. We do have enchantments in our creatures here with a Skola Grove Dancer. It's enchantment creature. Whenever a land goes to the graveyard, gain a life. I'm not really going to use that. You can mill the top card of your library to hopefully hit it, and if you really are in need of some life gain real quick. Stampede Rider, one of the more exciting Satyrs that are out there besides Gallia. 3 mana, 2/3 with Trample. So 3/4 with Trample when it comes out with Gallia or whatever. Then also at the beginning of each combat, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So it can get pretty big. Annex will hopefully be 4 power greater pretty consistently. We have lots of, it'll become a 2/3 by itself. With this, it would be a 3/4, and hopefully we have something else on the battlefield that will also get it there. But Annex, anytime a creature would die, creates a 1/1 Satyr token, so that's good. Any creature that has 4 power greater creates 2 tokens. It's not going to happen that often that we'll have stuff with power 4 or greater, honestly, because a lot of things that will give them buffs or whatever are legendary, so it's hard to really double up on it. But we do have Renata, which is our other lord in this deck, which anytime a creature enters the battlefield, get a +1/+1 counter. Because we're creating lots of tokens of these satyrs as we go along, I'm hoping that that becomes a more powerful effect where we can be swinging in, be okay with things dying because we're going to be getting a few 3/3s out of it, you know, if they die or something like that. Like, that's kind of the idea with Annex. Annex is out here to make sure that whenever stuff dies, we can get stuff even better. And so we can be swinging in with kind of our weaker creatures, our Satyrs Cunning. Is it non-token? Another non-token creature. So Satyrs Cunning doesn't really work with that. We do have our all of our gods here. So we have Clothis, God of Destiny, helps us ramp, is a creature, can become our 4-power creature once we have it, we have enough devotion, which this is probably the easiest one to get to. 1 Nylea, because it's going to be difficult for us to get to this one, but creature spells cost 1 less. You can reveal the top card of your library to, you know, it's a creature card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. I am trying to go through this a little bit more just because people aren't as familiar with this set. If you guys want to skip ahead to the gameplay, totally fine. I'm just kind of going slower, probably through these first like few weeks. Heroes of the Revel. It creates 2 satyrs for us. If we have, you know, Gallia and Renata and Perforos, all of a sudden that is 7. This becomes a 6/6 and a 3/3 that are both hasty, or, you know, like there's some really cool things that we can end up doing with this deck. That even these kind of weird creatures with the right setup can be really powerful. Perforos also helping us out. So that's the goal, is to occasionally get these really crazy plays, and hopefully they work for us. So let's go ahead and get the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. Before we jump into the gameplay, a quick thanks to Fusion Gaming for sponsoring this video. Be sure to head over to fusiongamingonline.com for all your Magic the Gathering needs. Check the link in the description below. All right, up against Frosty HS, bring it on. Like the mana base. Actually, the curve's okay, not too shabby. It's not Gallia there, but we'll make this work. Yeah. All right. So Mountain, Satyrs Cunning. Pass the turn. Hey, and actually, there we go. All right. So Gallia. Swing in down to 16. All right, we got our Gallia, so this is pretty good. Next turn, we have a 3/3 as well. I may actually get out Annex quicker. Let's see here. Unfortunately, it doesn't get haste. All right, sacrifice there. All right, with them, let's see here. Let's go Grove Dancer. I was really debating if I wanted to get out the Annex there instead, but let's play it like this. Pass the turn. Annex doesn't have haste, but while they don't have blockers, getting in damage seems pretty powerful. At the same time, if they had another sacrifice effect, this could be good. So play Annex now, just in case they have some way of destroying stuff. We can get another Satyr out of this. The Devils, Gallia, that's annoying. Swing in, down to 7, pass the turn. Perforos comes in next turn. We actually may just like, oh, we don't have enough in exile for this yet. Still bringing out Perforos to make Annex bigger. Opponent's just playing straight up removal, possibly. Okay, play Perforos. And this is what we're trying to do with this deck, is we just have a lot of creatures that come in, like hasty creatures. If opponents have slower starts like this, that don't have blockers, don't have anything, we can get in and do tons of damage. It's the opponents that are going to be stabilizing with their body, you know, early on, that become annoying. All right, so the nice thing here is that still has haste because of Perforos. So down to 4, past the turn. We also get to play this Satyr's Cunning as well. So we get to bring out 3 power on the next turn. Yep, submit. Get another 1/1. You're gonna counter this. This does present lethal by doing this, so it's kind of funny. All right, and then Grove Dancer, swinging in for 6. What you got, sir? They have the Bedevil. Do they have another answer though for everything else? If not, we have the game. And Satyrs. All right, Carnival. Okay, so they have the Carnival. All right, that's fair. And this is the nice thing too, is that Satyrs Cunning comes back again as soon as we have something in the graveyard. And with Perforos out, the haste is pretty fun. Thing to dust. All right, does exile it. Gains 3 life. That's the annoying part. Oh, if it was a creature card. It wasn't actually a creature card. Okay, Surveils. They still don't have a way to deal with this yet. That doesn't have Death Touch, right? Okay, yeah. Swing in. Whew, all right. I think we got pretty lucky there. Opponent had a ton of removal, but I think that we do better in that kind of a matchup where they don't have any creatures than other stuff, which we'll run into that every once in a while, so we'll take it. We'll take the wins when we get them. All right, up against Draza. Bring it on, Draza. Perforos's Intervention is a good removal spell. So we have early game removal. We have Clothis, which is not too shabby. It does nothing for us if there's nothing in graveyards, though. That is annoying. I like Annex enough, though, that I think we're going to keep this. In fact, we may go for Annex first. I had that in the wrong year. That was weird. I was wondering why it's also soft. There we go. Yeah, so keep this. A lot of people are playing creature decks, and so this Perforos's Intervention should be able to remove anything they can play in the first little bit. And getting rid of any blockers is very important for us. Pass the turn. All right, Nessian Wanderer actually really good for us here because Annex will come in, which is an enchantment. Be able to go digging for stuff. Ooh, Satyrs Champion. Hello. You really need green mana. Nothing in graveyards, so Clothis isn't very good. Let's grab Fable Passage. So Fable Passage puts something into the graveyard for us. No attacks, pass the turn. I really want to get this Renata as well. Once we have Renata and Annex, yeah, it's a really fun combo there. Clothis actually will be able to come in as a creature. Satyrs Champion getting insane already. Yeah, no blocks. We'll take our beats while he's still kind of small. Fable Passage. Oh, not Mountain. I almost grabbed a Mountain out of habit. Just go whatever's closest. All right, Renata. Dude, I'm loving this Nessian Water. That's actually a really powerful effect. They just have blockers for all this, right? So, no attacks, pass the turn. Once we have an indestructible blocker, we're fine with Satyrs Champion because as long as we can keep everything else on the battlefield, we're good. We can take care of that. Honestly, we probably ought to Perforos's Intervention soon, though. That's going to be bad as well. Let's see here. So, Clothis. Grab a Mountain. Dude, the amount of lands we're getting from this is pretty sweet. All right, that hasn't even hit. Yeah, okay. That was just coming from this. Okay. Let's go forest. Is this instant speed? It's not. So you can do 2 damage and that's it. This should have gotten a counter onto it when this came in, right? Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with additional +1/+1 counter on it. Does it check a little bit differently than I thought? Oh, it's pre-combat. Well, all right. No attacks. Maybe I should have just killed the Archon. I forgot that this starts at the beginning of the pre-combat main phase. I was thinking it was because it said pre-combat. I was thinking that before combat you get an extra mana. Staggering insight, yeah, that's bad. We are gonna get a little bit more out of it now, as long as they don't put something like with hexproof on it. That'd be really bad. Swings in. Yep. And all that glitters. So the nice thing though is that we actually should have enough mana for this. We got that out before. I guess they probably just drew it. Add red mana. Add Fable Passage. Red mana. Alright, so this is... So we need it to be X5. Yeah, we have to tap one more. Bummer. I was hoping we could get Gallia out as well. We need the blocker for this. We're actually in quite a bit of trouble here. Yeah, just pass the turn. Uh-oh. They created enough Pegasus that this is pretty bad. Nyx Move Ancient. Alright, opponent's doing some really cool things at least. And this is where Satyrs are pretty bad. We do really well if opponents are basically doing nothing. You know, if they just did nothing, we would win games all day long. I don't get it. We are doing some interesting and fun stuff that... Oh man, it's just all that glitters. That these flyers are really crushing us. We don't have any reach. They can make so much mana with this. Yep. All the glitters became so much more powerful. We need to be able to gain life. Somehow. This does gain us life, so yeah, get rid of... Get rid of that. Gallia, the Endless Dance. Stampede Raider. We're gonna go like this. Swing them in. That effect's actually not terrible. Yeah, blocks Gallia, kills Gallia. Or actually doesn't kill any of our guys. Bummer. I'm actually going to play Gallia again. Just to kill this one so we get another Satyr. What do we want to keep? So that dies. It was a 4/4 when it died, so we created an extra 2/3/3s there. If they have another, all the glitters were dead. That's also not great. I guess all the glitters, if they just grow it big enough anyway. All right, well, we did fun stuff with this game, but they did more fun stuff. We got the Perforos's intervention. So, I mean, we actually have a way of coming back if they don't kill us this turn. Not an enchantment. We like that. Okay. Honestly, this might be helping us out a little bit. Okay, I don't think we die. This has lifelink now, though. And it draws a card. Dude, Staggering Insight is an insanely powerful aura. I'm a big fan. Get rid of that all it glitters. Do we actually have enough damage to kind of make this work? Let's see, how much damage do we need to do? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures. So the weird thing is like if we kill something like a Renata or something, as long as we can give our Satyrs haste, like we can kill this guy and create 2 other attackers instead. So I'm debating if I actually want to kill this or just make it a big massive trampling guy as well. Maybe we just do that, X7. Maybe this works out. I don't know. We have one trampler guy, another trampler guy. We may just have enough damage. I'm hoping they don't have some sort of answer here. Are the Satyrs going to pull through again? This is ridiculous. I don't know how we're doing this if we do. There actually is a pretty good chance that we still win this. All the things that die create a bunch of tokens as well. I mean, it doesn't matter because of the envoy, which we could have killed. But I think that this extra 8 points of damage is going to make a big difference. It's forcing them to block here, which means this trampler gets through. So, I mean, I guess it's not a huge difference, but I'm not sure if it's better than having just killed one of our bigger guys and creating 2 3/3s. That's kind of weird how that works out. All right, so we have 3, 4, 5. Okay, I don't think we quite have enough. They keep switching it around, so I'm not really sure. I think we're just shy. What we need is like a second combat phase, because with Annex and Renata, like with the Gallia, Annex, whatever, you can keep swinging in every time a non-token creature dies. You can create more Satyrs to swing in. There's some fun stuff you can do with this. Put us in good game. Good game. Okay, I was thinking that we had pretty close to lethal. Again, math is for blockers, and I do like a quick summation. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we got it. But I don't typically do all the math because it takes time and I don't want to bore you guys that much. That's the main reason. All right, here we go again. Hey, up against Adamant. Bring it on, Adamant. Oh. I really like this Nessian Wanderer. Do we keep this just because of that? If we don't actually hit another red mana, it's pretty bad. On the draw, we get to go look for green mana. We get to put something into our graveyard. I really like Annex, and he's actually okay to die. As weird as that sounds, like it's semi-okay if he dies. We're gonna go ahead and try this out. Again, this is all about kind of testing out the decks, seeing what these things can do, seeing if Annex is worthwhile. What I'm seeing right now is that I like green-red devotion. I'm not necessarily sure that Satyrs is the best way to go, but I think just green-red devotion is not bad, and even Gallia just with Annex isn't terrible. You kind of Perforos is almost good enough to do that anyway, but I really am liking green-red devotion. Grab Mountain. We don't want all three of our annexes in the same hand, though. That's something we did not want. I've decided. we can kill it. We can kill our own guys, which actually, that's kind of interesting. So we can play one out, play another one, because while they're both out, they'll have 4 devotion. They'll kind of kill each other. Well, one of them will die, and it'll end up working out. Anyway. One of them, they'll get an extra. They'll get 4 power, so they create the extra token. That's what I'm trying to say. Words and stuff, man. Difficult stuff here. This Nessian Wanderer, though, crazy powerful with the number of enchantments that are out. Just being able to get a land to hand that often. I mean, it's card draw first off. It is a land which isn't as useful at times, but it's not unuseful. You know, it's pretty good stuff. So if we kill this, this comes back as a 2/3, but I think we're actually okay with the 2/3 being around. So we may just kill that and swing in. Get Perforos on the next turn. So just X1. Feels kind of weird just like not paying much for a kill spell like that. Alright, swing in. It's a race. We want to be racing with this deck fairly often, especially with how hasty we can be and whatnot. The nice thing about this, you can pay to put red creature or artifact on the battlefield from your hand. I think you can do that at instant speed. It doesn't say anywhere I can see that it can't be that way. And so if we are just going to try to kill one of these guys anyway, or they're going to sacrifice anyway, it's not a bad idea just to kind of throw it out there, instant speed, while we're holding up something else. So there's some cool stuff you can do with this. Let's go for Perforos. Putting a lot of good stuff to the bottom, but that's fine. Ew. Alright, they're gonna be able to start making multiples of these tokens. That's bad. That's bad. Renata, I do like. I like her. Do I want to just kill this Alrios first? How do we pay for this? All right, swing in here. Let's go ahead and sack this now. I want to see if I can pull this out at instant speed. Okay, you can. I was just realizing it doesn't really matter how it works out. Yeah, this is so rare. We get some value out of it. I don't think I've not hit a land with that yet, which, I mean, it's got to happen at some point, but man, that's powerful. We could probably be playing a lot more expensive stuff as long as we're hitting that consistently. Thassa is a May ability, so they don't, or it's an up to 1, so they don't have to target Hydrocrisis here. They can tap another target creature, though, so they can tap down our Annex or something. This can't block, so we're going to be swinging in kind of regardless. Whoa, they bounced it back. Goodbye. You don't have to, you can target nothing. You can do that. All right, this comes in with haste. The legendary rule is a little bit hard because like an Annex would be a perfect thing to be pulling out with Perforos to give it haste. I mean, I guess it gives it haste anyway, so it doesn't really matter to play 3. Pass the turn. All right, let's see what they try to do. So there's some fun stuff we can do with Perforos, actually. So if they go to, like, steal our Renata for a blocker, or act of treason like that, and there's some interesting things we can do here. So, keep this one. So these become 2/2s because of Renata. We get another land. This guy does die at the beginning of the next end step. Growth Spiral. So they were going to be able to bounce it back to under your control. So it actually keeps it under their control. I forgot about that. All right, so again. Man, what a fun game. There's some really interesting things you can do with Perforos if you do have duplicates like with legendary. So I was complaining about having a bunch of legendaries with Perforos initially, but even though it didn't necessarily help there, but with Thassa, they blink in, and I guess it comes back underneath their control if they have active treason or whatever, and so then it would remain under their control. So anyway, we did have a way to interact with that with Perforos, which was pretty cool. All right, so overall, the Satyrs were better than I expected, but I think that was more out of luck. Like, honestly, there were some fun interactions that we had. There are some powerful things that this deck is doing, and really the benefit was Annex is powerful, Renata is powerful, the gods are powerful, and Satyrs were kind of like a home to kind of fill in that spot, which it does fit in with what these guys do together really well. It creates a lot of tokens that they have haste, they can swing in and do damage, and everything, so that it does fill that role really well. But it is also very interesting. I kind of wonder if you could do like a Naya devotion deck with all of the gods, so that when things enter the battlefield, you also are like gaining life, all this kind of stuff. You can just create like a tokens deck. there is that possibility. Anyway, so I'd love to hear down in the comments below things that you guys would like to do with the deck. What you guys think is good. If you think that Satyrs was this just a fluke, or is there a way to maybe tweak this to where it actually can be consistent and powerful? Anyway, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Leave them down in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye.